Okay, let's see if that's some better. Problem is we had so many problems with the sound right at the beginning. Let's see if we can hear ourselves.
Let's see if that's some better.
There we go. Now you can hear us. So as I was saying, sadly, he only has 3 lines to this opener, and yet one of them is
75%, right? That's good, isn't it?
Okay, it's not 75% because now your math is off. Because there are 3 lines and you know your name. That's 1 of 3. That's actually 33% right, not 75%.
No,
right.
I've got 2/3 right.
Whatever. Anyway, welcome to our live broadcast this week, and let's kind of move on a little bit. I think we need to move on. Don't you think we need to move on? Okay, so I think we need to move on. What's new in real estate news this week, Russ? There's some really interesting things that have happened, right?
So, one of the things that came out the other day is, could mortgage rates really drop to 0?
Wow. Drop to 0?
President Donald Trump has called on the U.S. Federal Reserve to drop interest rates to 0 or even negative at its next meeting on September 17th. So
which is Tuesday.
Stay tuned.
Which is Tuesday, so we'll probably find out what the Fed does then.
That sparked several discussions this week on how that could impact the housing market.
Okay.
Would the banks have to pay people back if it was negative?
Well, see, I think the most interesting thing to me about this article that we were reading is a lot of people are like, wow, this would be great for mortgages and great for real estate because, wow, you'd have to, and what it is apparently the banks actually pay down part of the loan as long as
quicker.
Right.
So you'll end up paying off, if you got a 30-year loan, end up paying it off.
It doesn't actually
earlier.
put money back in your pocket short term, but it does
having
long
no
term.
interest rate, very, very low.
But the problem is, here's the problem.
If you save...
Yeah, if you're saving for a down payment, it means you are getting 0 interest on that savings. And in fact, you may be having to pay in order to have a savings account. And the problem is that's 2 aspects to buying a house. Because a lot of people are saving to buy a house, and they don't need to be paying money just for the privilege of saving. And since you can't just pull your money out of the bank and stick it in your pocket stick it under the mattress or something nowadays, that becomes problematic. So, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that's a good idea?
I mean, it's already happening in Europe, and Denmark have actually got their negative 0.5% on their loans. So we have seen it happen in other countries, and it just means the clients are paying back their loans quicker.
Yeah, but the difference is that Denmark, their banks their whole government system is different than the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason. So I think it's interesting when they take a concept from another country, and try to apply it here. It doesn't always work that well.
No.
So
we'll see. Watch this space.
We'll see. But if it drops a little bit more, we're not upset with that because look, it could drop still a whole nother %, and that would still be a help. Then people would still be able to save, and it would make housing more affordable.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing is, what you may not know is that when real estate interest rates drop, when mortgage interest rates drop, what it does is a lot of times people don't necessarily spend less money. What they do is they buy more house. So that's kind of an awesome thing. Or the other thing that happens is the economy gets sparked a bit because people refinance. Because it's a great rate that's available, so they get that rate, they lock it in, they refinance.
So it's not all about people moving. It's sometimes it's about people that they've got a higher interest rate and want to lower it. It's a great time to refi.
Yeah, so it's really important to say, what does that mean for me? If the interest rates drop on mortgages, what does that mean for me? Well, that kind of depends on whether you want to refi or whether you're saving to buy. So if you are in either of those situations, go ahead and give us a call and let us know. Also want to just mention one other thing before we move on to the next topic. If you do like some of the information we're providing or want to do this, click like and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. We are uploading videos now every week. My ADD husband's getting interrupted.
A cup had fallen over.
A cup that had nothing in it.
It did,
had tipped over.
It's all over the paperwork.
It's water, and that's garbage. Anyway, so if you like what we're saying or you like watching us bicker, then click like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. You'll see some of our stuff that we upload. This week we didn't get anything uploaded. It was just a crazy week, but we've already got it ready to go. So it's just a matter of, we're kind of suffering with some new software features too. I will say there's a brand new software that Adobe has released this week that I'm fiddling around with because it's gonna make our lives so much better. Oh, it's so much better,
But
so much
not
easier.
yet.
Yeah, but not quite this moment. So anyway, so we're still fiddling with software on that stuff. But our next thing, so if you do like this, like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and let us know what you think. All right. Let me check really quick, see if there's any chat on there. No chat yet. No chat? Okay, no chat yet. So we're going to move on to the next topic, which is young adults shop for distant investment rather than buying where they live. That's an interesting concept because a lot of people think that young adults and like those in their 20s and early 30s, when they're ready to buy that first home, a lot of them are still very mobile in their jobs. There's a lot of people who are moving from place to place to place. And
they're going to college and things like that.
Well, it's usually the ones that are out of college, but they're not really set in their career full time yet. And so what they're doing is they're looking at investment markets. So for example, the Racine and Kenosha investment market is a really great place to be investing right now. If you have real estate investment that you want to do, this is a great place to do it if you want investment property. And the reason for that is because we have low interest rates, we have low taxes in Wisconsin compared to some states, and not the lowest, there are other states that are lower than us, but you get a lot for your taxes in Wisconsin as well.
Yeah.
But the other reason is because in this area, in southeastern Wisconsin, we've seen a huge economic boom recently in the last few years. We have a number of different organizations, corporations that have moved into the southeastern Wisconsin area. We've got a huge amount of construction work going on our highways over here, the infrastructure to make things work. These people all need places to live. And some of them are actually short-term people, like the construction workers. They're not going to be here all the time. 2-3 years and they're gone, and a lot of them will rent a place. So this is a great place to have an investment property right now, but you got to make sure that either A, you're good at managing from afar, that you've got your system set up in place, or that you hire somebody to manage it for you. So that's really important to know. But apparently it's a trend right now that young adults are doing this. They're not necessarily buying where they are, but they are buying somewhere else.
They're finding that they are getting a better return on their investment than stocks and shares, or keeping it in the bank. So it's
because here's the thing. The problem is a lot of these young people went through the recession seeing their parents either lose their house and they thought, oh, this is a terrible way.
Or they was underwater for a long time.
Yeah, their parents couldn't sell. Right, they couldn't sell and they were underwater. Maybe their parents held on to stuff and they went, wait a second, it made them less mobile. So they kind of, a lot of these people were in that situation. And now that they are old enough to be buying houses, they're a little skittish about buying something directly for themselves. So
or they buy a rental and live in one side and rent out the other side to pay their mortgage. It's something that we have seen happening, and or they're buying them as an investment from afar and just reaping the rewards. From
one of the things that I do actually is I've got a really great plan for somebody who's just turned 18, where they can fully own an investment property by the time that they are 30 years old. And how to do that, even if they only make a minimum wage salary, which might seem really crazy. But I actually have a plan all laid out, and if somebody sticks to that plan, they can actually completely own their property that's worth about $100,000 maybe. They can have it completely paid off and own it by the time they're 30, which is great because then they can leverage that into maybe what they want for the rest of their life.
You could either use that to purchase something bigger and move out and still keep your rental property.
Yeah.
Or you could sell up and buy somewhere bigger, or in a different area.
Yep, absolutely. So if you want more details on that, go ahead and drop us a line here and we'll be happy to talk to you about that. Set up a consultation so I can outlay that plan for you and see how it is that we can help you. It's a really, really great plan. It took me a while to develop it, but it actually works really well.
It's a sound
and we are
business model.
I have sold a number of 2 families recently, and we are seeing those are being bought by people in their late 20s to early 30s, and like a lot of times it's a partnership between them, and one of them's moving in and the other one's not, and it seems to be working really, really well. So I just think that's really interesting. So what's good about that though is that what people don't realize is that a lot of people are saying that kids aren't, or young people or young adults are not, they're not going to buy at all. But that's actually not true. Because the good news is they are investing in themselves. They're just investing in a different way than their parents did. So it's great to see that they're investing just, that they're not giving up on that home ownership or that investment of real estate property dream for their future. Because it is absolutely true that investment in real estate is the soundest investment historically across the board. Stocks go up and down, other investments go up and down, .coms fail and this and that. Sometimes they go up and you make a lot of money, sometimes they go down. But real estate always turns out to be a good investment on a long-term level. So when you're for retirement and things like that. So that's kind of what it is in real estate news for this week. Should we go on? We should. We should go on to those that are new on the market. New to the market this week.
Okay, so...
So first of all, what I would like to say about this is that before we go on, our first one, it seems like Lake Park is really, really picking up.
Yeah.
Because our very first one for this week, our 75 to 150K again, comes from the Lake Park area. And these are super cute, super nice houses. They're not like,
Yeah, I think, people have been buying them and turning them around. They've been...
Yeah, there's definitely been some investment in that Lake Park area. So if you've never considered Lake Park before, this area is definitely changing right now. We're seeing that trend in the stuff that's being listed over there. But let's show you the one that we've picked for this week, which is 1233 Kenilworth. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. Cute as a button little thing.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's got a basement as well. It's got some finished space in the basement. So it is a smaller house. It's 900 above grade.
Yeah, but 900 square feet is not bad for a first house or an ending house.
Or someone downsizing, it would be perfect.
Absolutely. It's 900 square feet above grade. That's still a nice...
And it does have a 2-car garage, so it's got space there as well.
It's got 1 bathroom on the main and 1 bathroom in the basement.
Yeah.
A detached garage, and it's got a nice little driveway next to it. So kind of liking this one. What's the price on it, Russ?
This one is $149,900, so just inside the 150
Okay,
mark.
so right at the top of that mark.
Yeah.
But still, it looks really good. Let's take a look at what it looks like. You guys would probably rather see that than us. So here is the exterior of that house.
Nice clean lines.
Looks like new siding, new windows, new doors. Looks like new concrete here out the front door.
Yeah, the patio there.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the driveway on this one's actually over on this side, so don't be deceived that this right here is not the driveway. It's over on the far side from this picture. All right. So let's take a look at the second one. So what's really interesting is I couldn't decide which picture to use of the kitchen, because this is kind of the best one that I could figure, because the angles are a little bit odd. But essentially, in this kitchen, you have that little back area. It's like a little alcove that's just for the kitchen. Then you step out of there. That is not the living room. So let me show that one more time. This area right here, that's not the living room. That's like a dining area, eat-in kitchen stuff. So if you wanted to put more cabinets or storage or something along this line, this is just the eat-in, like the eat-in area or the dining room area. It doesn't call it a dining room, but it really should, because it is a separate kitchen. I mean, it's separate from the kitchen because of the wall that's dividing it. But they are including this space as part of the kitchen. So, I mean, you could even put an awesome island or something right here to really augment that kitchen really well. And that would really maximize that space. So let's take a look at the rest of these pictures. I mean, it's obviously a flipped house. It's somebody that's come in, they've bought it for inexpensive, they've turned it around.
It's nice and clean.
But it looks really nice and clean. Right. It looks solid. It looks, it's got some fancy to it, but...
What better way to start off owning a home than to have everything brand new inside?
Yeah, sometimes that's good. Now, we don't know if the furnaces and air conditioning and all that stuff is new or not.
We don't know that.
Right. Do we even know if it has air conditioning? It does not look like it has
No.
AC.
But it does have full stairs, so
It wouldn't be too hard. But
It
this
wouldn't
I
be
thought
too
was
hard.
really nice. Look at this basement. How clean and neat and tidy is that basement?
wow.
Yeah, that's a really great looking basement there. So, yeah, so that's pretty good. All right, let's see. Moving on. What have we got next? Our
So-
150 to 250K.
Yeah, that comes in at 4506 Scout Trail.
4506 Scout Trail in Caledonia. This is a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 2.5 car garage, courtesy of Remax Newport Elite. Now the first picture of this is not that great. I'm going to say that. But what's the price point on this? For a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 2.5 car garage. what's
This
the
one
price?
comes in at 229.9,
Right? How many square feet above grade though?
1,799, so at
Yeah.
almost 1,800 square feet.
Now this is a tri-level, so it's definitely a little bit different. And the first picture here is not that great, but the problem is there's a tree right here, and there's a tree right here. So I think getting a picture of the front of this house would be difficult for any photographer,
Yeah.
to be honest. The only way you could get a really good solid picture would be to stand over here on the driveway and shoot that direction, but even then it's going to make this end of the house look kind of weird. So let's continue though. And so one of the reasons why we picked this one,
Yeah.
why is it, Russ? Why
Well,
did we pick? What's
because
one of the
we're
reasons?
thinking of having a kitchen similar to this one. So
Yeah, because we're thinking about redoing our kitchen sometime in the next 6 months, 6 to 9 months, and we really like. To be honest, this is kind of our style as far as what we
Yeah.
like. We have a very small kitchen, and it needs a lot of it just needs to be completely redone because it was never done right. It's not been done probably in 40 years, wouldn't you say? And
Oh, yeah.
whoever did it 40 years ago does not live a modern lifestyle. So, but it's because it's a small kitchen. I love this concept of the black bottom cabinets. We have black appliances at our house, so that's why we like the black for the bottom. The white countertops, and then they moved to a white cabinets for the uppers.
yeah.
Really thought that was cute and
And
clever.
we really like the subway tile as well because
Yeah.
we've been considering that as well as the backsplash for ours.
Mhm.
So all in all, it was, it's a similar mindset to us of what we want. And
Now, personally, I don't
really
want
like
glass
them.
cabinets though in my kitchen because I'm not that neat of tidy of a person in my cupboards. My cupboards aren't as neat and tidy as that. So. Let's move on though to the next picture for this one, and here we go. I love this one because it's not a huge bathroom, but they have managed to incorporate double mirrors and a double sink. Thought that was pretty cool looking. What do you think?
yeah, it looks really good.
And now when we redo our bathroom, which I'm thinking might be about 3 to 4 months, that'll depend on how quickly you can make that sink.
It won't be a double sink though because
Won't be a double sink
we've
'cause
already got the sink
Yeah,
downstairs.
we've already got the sink top, so that's not going to be the same for us. But I do like this concept of the double mirror.
Yeah,
When you do have that double sink, that's kind of very cool. So, all right, moving on to the 250 to 350K.
this one is a 3612 29th Street in Kenosha, and this comes courtesy of
Remax Newport Elite again.
another
Yep.
Remax, yeah.
Yep.
And the price point on this one is 329.9.
Okay.
A 3-bedroom,
3 bathroom,
3-bathroom.
2 car attached.
Yeah.
It looks like it might be a 2.5 car. Looks like maybe the agent missed
Yeah.
a trick on that
Maybe.
because it's a pretty deep looking. Here, I'll show you guys so you can see. That actually looks like a 2.5 car deep because I've seen this model before.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that's actually a 2.5 car deep, which, hey, why not? Nothing wrong about that, right?
No.
No, absolutely. So we've got some really cool looking features to this one. It was just really neat and tidy. We did struggle,
Yeah.
didn't we? Have this? Was it this price
We
point
did have
struggled
this
at?
price point. There were quite a few that all had really good aspects to them, and it was difficult to narrow it down to any one in particular.
Yeah.
And so it was almost as if we flipped a coin on. There was about 3 that really stood out, but this one won over.
Yeah, that wasn't this one that you're talking about, but I know which one you're talking about. The last one was the one we flipped the coin over. The 150 to 250
No, this
with
one
Marlene
was a bit like
Simonson's.
that as well. But
Yeah. All right, so let's show you this. We'll show you the living room area. Very neat and tidy. very nicely staged or presented. I love these wood floors. That's really nice.
Yeah, and it shows the open plan there. You've got a fireplace, a dining
It's not completely
area.
open plan though, because it kind of flows around. You do have
Yeah.
some separation between the living room, but
Uh-huh.
not a lot. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I like that. This is one of the reasons I loved it. So for those of you that may not know, purple is my favorite color. I will probably never paint any part of my house purple because it does seem too taste specific to me for me. But
You have so many items that are purple that they
That's
would
true.
just be camouflaged.
so our guest bedroom is a purple and gray bedroom, okay? But it's not a purple painted walls. It's white painted walls and purple accessories and things like that. But I do still love this. But what I really loved about this was not so much the purple, because I think I would like to have it just on one wall, maybe like an accent wall. But I did think it was really clever on this tray ceiling up here that they put
to follow it round on the
yeah,
inside.
that they on the facing down stuff they put the white, left the white there, and then they did the upper area as the purple to match the wall.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool
It
decorative
does
design
accentuate
concept.
it really well.
It really makes the ceiling step out, that's for sure. And you can see it's got a great master bath attached to it as well. So that was that's our one between 250 and 350. All right. And what is our next? Our next one is 350 to 500. What's the actual price on it?
It's $389.9.
$389. Okay.
And that's 3121 Walden Way in Racine.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom,
It's a triple threat.
and a 3-car garage.
That's why I said it's a triple threat. It's 3, 3, and
Yeah,
3
it's got the
times 3.
trifecta.
Yeah, they got the trifecta perfecta, right?
And this one's 2645 square foot above grade.
Okay, so 2,600 feet. So here's the thing that people need to keep in mind. I've got a 2,600 square foot right now, older house, and that's selling for a much lower price point than this.
Mhm.
I think it's really interesting that you kind of do have to compare when you're going out there. Are you buying something that's almost brand new built like this? And even this is not brand new built. This is 20 years old, isn't it?
1999.
So 20 years old. Yep, so it's a 20-year-old house, but still last 20 years. But just such a really cool house. But it's up there for $399. So
389.
or $389. Sorry, $389. So let's take a look at it.
And this
Again, we've
one's
got a
courtesy of First Weather.
Again, we've got a great big tree kind of getting in the way of a good picture. But I'm sure when you're there, it probably looks really amazing and really nice. Maybe the photographer could have stood over here, though.
Maybe.
I don't know. That is one of the things that I pay attention to when I'm listing a house. Is I am the
You
director.
certainly did.
I'm the director of my films, so to speak, or of my photography shoots. Now, this is the reason we picked this one.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about this for half a second. I actually thought we should pick a different house. So this one was a little bit of a fight between us this week, but ultimately, Russ got to win.
Uh-huh.
Russ, tell the people, why did you pick this house over
Look
the other
at
one?
that view. I could sit there all day long looking at that water. Wouldn't get much work done, but I could sit there, I could go fishing. Oh, yeah. I could really chill out there, and I expect whoever buys this has
And I
the
will
same
agree.
feeling.
I will agree that there are a lot of photos in this particular one that have views of the water, and you can see right up here they actually have an awning, a rollout awning. I don't know if a lot of people are paying attention to that or knew that or saw it, but there is an awning that goes over this deck. And this deck is right off of, this is the eat-in part of the kitchen. So you have this beautiful bay style window. It's not a bay window, but a bay style where it kind of juts out like that. That just captures so many
It
views of
looks
that
like
little
you're
pond.
right up against it. You're almost over the water.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's, stick a rod out the window and you're fishing.
No, you're not sick. Okay, it's not our house, that's for sure. All right. And then this is the back of the house. Just wanted to give you an idea, and that's where that section is. That's where the deck is. But look at this. What I wanted to point out with the back of the house was how many windows in this house in the bedrooms. These are all bedroom windows, and except that's a bathroom, but these are all bedroom windows, and they all face the water. And you've got these what they call English style, although I've never figured that part out. But you've got these large windows in the basement that also face that pond and that water. So that is a really, really nice thing. And then over 500K. So I do want to kind of come on and talk about this for a second because I'm going to be honest with you, I was a little disappointed of the over 500s this week.
Yeah.
There were only 3 properties that were listed over $500,000 this week. And we're putting this one up as the best of the 3, but I'm just not excited about any of the 3 looking awesome.
Well, we don't normally like to go with new builds.
So we don't normally go with a new construction, and mostly that's because there's no pictures or things of that nature to be able to show you what the house looks like. Now this one is a model home, so that makes it a little easier. And it is by a great builder, by Korndorfer. We're going to mention that. It's so it is a great builder. Now, one of the other reasons though that I thought, well, let's go with this one. It does look the nicest of all of them. It is a new construction, but the thing about it is, I don't think a lot of people know that when you are doing new construction, that you can actually work with a real estate agent to help you doing your new construction.
We've worked with several clients that.
Oh, we're working with one right now.
Yeah, we've got one
we're actually
going on right
we're
now.
working with right now, going through the process of helping them. We're helping them so they pick out their finishes, so they stay within budget, so that we can help negotiate some other things for them. Talking about taking out the things that, what they could do themselves, maybe. Because a lot of times if you go meet with a builder, they're just going to throw in a lot of stuff that they have to do or that they want to do because they want the product to look a certain way. But for example, whether you have the builder do the lawn seeding and grass or not, that's actually up to you as the homeowner. There might be HOA restrictions that require you to put up certain trees or have the grass planted by
and this is another thing where it's important for an agent to be involved, because sometimes a client won't think that, well, maybe I can't have a fence because the HOA doesn't allow it.
Right.
And you've had your heart set on the white picket fence around the house, and all of a sudden after you've bought it, you find out that you can't put one up.
Yep.
And so these are factors that we ask those questions of our clients. So what's important to you? What do you want in your new build?
Before you even sit down with a builder, come talk to us. Find out, we can help you with that process so that we can look at it from the beginning to the end. Because if you are going to go with new construction, you're probably going to be there for a good 10 to 20 years. People don't do new construction to move out in 5 or 6 years. It's not a quick investment. It's usually a pretty long-term investment. You want to make sure that you're going to love as much of it as possible. And also you want to make sure that you're not putting too much into stuff that you can change later easily. So don't pay the builder to do the stuff that you might want to upgrade later once you've lived in this space and once you've kind of gotten a feel for it. A lot of people think when they build a new construction that, oh, this is now my dream home and I have to have all my dream things. It can still be your dream home without having all your dream elements at the beginning. And that's a great way for you to be able to get into new construction and
then build equity.
And then build equity later on.
Over time.
Right, and do it over time. But let's take a look at this one over 500,000.
This one is 713 Brookview Court, and it's
lot number 6.
Yeah, it's in Caledonia, and this is on the market at 539,900.
It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 3-car garage, courtesy of Korndorfer, as we said before. It is on about a 0.37 of an acre, plus or minus a little bit. So it's a little oversized acreage there, which is nice. And of course that 3-car is an attached garage. And that's what the front looks like. Pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a very nice looking house, I will say. I like the layout. And this is the RKBA Danbury. And it has it does have the open concept. And it has Princeton maple cabinets with crown moldings. Well, let's just take a look at some of this stuff. So we don't have a picture of the crown moldings and the cabinetry, but what it is I want to show, this was the better picture of the kitchen to be able to show it off.
Well, it shows the dining area and the living area at the same time, so it is a very open plan. So that, which comes in really good if you're entertaining. You don't want to be stuck in the kitchen. If you've got guests over for dinner, you can, carry on. The downside to that is all your messy pots and pans are on show.
That's okay though. But hopefully you're not that messy of a cook like Russ is.
Or just put them straight in the dishwasher.
There we go. That's a good idea too. But you do have this huge, beautiful granite countertop here. Of course, a lot of these things in a home like this. So this is what they're showing as a possibility. But if this is true, this is probably just their model home. If you want to have different color cabinets or different countertops, we go out and we sit there with you at the builder and help you pick them out so that you remain in your budget. So that's kind of a really cool aspect of this. The one reason I wasn't really excited about using this one is because the photography in this one is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they need to hire a better photographer to showcase their product. Because actually, Korndorfer's got a great product.
They do have a great product.
It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Solid 2x6 construction in their homes. You know, really, really great. And they can really knock out homes very quickly because they don't do custom home building. They have their plans already in place, so bang, they can get started.
They have lots of different plans for different styles. You can actually pick out what style you want, and provided it works on the footprint of the land, then they'll build it for you.
And there's usually multiple choices.
Yeah.
I love this master bedroom. I like the minimalist tray ceiling. It also has a very classic look with the crown molding in the tray ceiling. If you can, I don't know if you can see that very well, but can you see up here? That's actually got some crown molding that kind of rounds those corners right there, which gives it a really elegant finish to it, along with the crown molding in this area as well. So it just kind of gives a really great finish looking thing. So the next thing on our, let's see, hold on, I thought I had more pictures than that. Oh no, there were only 3. Okay, so the next thing is our open house recap. So Russ, how did your open houses go today?
Yeah, it didn't. Well, we had to cancel our open house because we had it all lined up. We had our open house at Polaris all lined up, ready to go.
And then darn it, on Friday night, we got an accepted offer on the property.
Yeah. So
we only listed it Monday.
Yeah, we only listed it Monday.
Well, actually, it went on the open market on Wednesday.
Yeah, we showed it to other agents on Tuesday. It went properly live on Wednesday, and we marketed it, and I was getting ready to go and walk the neighborhood for Saturday to advertise the open house.
Yep.
And
then I went and sold it Friday night.
We got
took away his open house. And the problem is we can't really advertise an open house when it's Friday night. It's almost impossible to get another open house set up and advertise.
Because we like the advert to go out Saturday morning, you know, online. I walked the neighborhood. I leaflet the neighborhoods that I'm holding an open house in, so I can get some of the local neighbors to come in, or if they've got friends that want to move into that area. Because let's face it, if you're a resident in that road, you know you've got those friends that have visited you, and they've turned around and said, oh, what a great neighborhood, I'd love to live here. If a house comes available, let me know.
Yeah.
So that's why we walk the neighborhoods, to let them know.
Exactly. So unfortunately, no open house recap for this week.
Nope.
That's too bad. But what I will tell you is that our tip of the week is a little bit different. Russ probably doesn't even know what our tip of the week is.
I don't know what our tip of the week is.
Yeah. Well, that's because I just had to come up with it. I didn't even get it onto the slideshow. But my tip of the week is, so we're just going to say tip of the week. And
find the tip of the week earlier.
Yeah, find the tip of the week earlier. Sometimes that's hard because there's at certain times of the year, there's certain things you can't do. But my tip of the week for you this week is here. If you live in any of the northern climes, and we're heading into fall now, what you're probably seeing in almost everywhere across the country is actually a lot of rain. Well, not so much in the southwest. There's never a lot of rain there. But this time of year, where we have a tendency to get a lot of that fall storms, rains, the hurricane season down south, coming up onto the coast, a lot of rain, it really softens up the ground. It is a great time to aerate your lawn. Yep. Because what it does is go through with an aerator, and you can usually rent them at your local, like Home Depot, Menards.
Oh, you just need a full
Lowe's, whatever your local place is. Or he's right. If you own a pitchfork, you can actually do it yourself. It's a lot more work to do.
It's a lot more work.
Yeah. But Most of the tool rental places have this cart that you can push, and what it does is as you roll it over the lawn, it's like a roller that has little tubes, and what the tubes do is they cut into the lawn, and then as the tubes roll up, they pop out a bit of the sod so that you can so that it just like basically keeps rolling. It actually pops in one end and then comes out the center rolling.
Yeah, it's like a straw.
Yeah, it's kind of like a straw, like a lot of straws all on a roller. But what it does is as you push it along, it will aerate your lawn. It will give that nice nutrition. Then some of those dead leaves that are going to happen over the fall can go into those holes and kind of moisturize it. The snow, if you're in a snowy area, will get in there. The rain and the wet will pack all those nutrients into your lawn, and that is going to be great. Then come spring, that aeration's already been done. And
that's when you see the benefits, because
yes,
you'll get new growth. And
yep, and you can also, when you're doing this aeration, another thing that you can do that's really great is you aerate it, and then in a few weeks pour some seed into it, and that's actually going to give you a lusher lawn too. Some seed or some weed and feed, that kind of thing to get rid of the weeds in your lawn, and it's just it's a great process to be able to do. So we have a lawn that's about this big, so we don't do it too often. But
we can do it with a dinner fork rather than a pitchfork.
Yes, our lawn is so small, but that's actually good because the way our lives work, we're out helping you guys find homes and buy homes. We really don't spend as much time in our home as you probably do in yours, which is fine. We're good with that. But for this phase of our life, this is the small lawn phase. It means we can manage it ourselves because that's what works for us. And that's why we understand when some people say, a lot of times it's interesting. We were talking yesterday about a guy that you were working with who you told him, hey, we need to see a pre-approval at this amount if you want to go look at houses at this amount. He got his pre-approval and he said to you, I bet you didn't think I could get that pre-approval. And we actually went, we didn't have any preconceived notions about you. We don't preconceive, we don't care. If you want to buy a tiny little house, great, we'll help you buy a tiny little house. If you want a really large family home because maybe you are at that age where you've got older teenagers and college kids and you know they're going to be bringing home kids from college with them on vacations.
We may point out that you're going to need a ride-on mower now if it's a larger lot.
But it doesn't really matter what level. People can still buy, and it's still, it doesn't make any difference. What we own is not relevant to what you should buy. What you should buy should fit what you want. What we own fits what we need. And that is exactly the best thing about real estate, is being able to invest in your future, being able to live the lifestyle you want to live, and make that work for you. If that means moving across the country to be closer to family, or if that means staying in the area to be closer to family, or moving across the country for a job and having to leave family, that could be kind of hard, but we help with all of it. But our tip of the week is all about aeration, because you know what? It really helps with the curb appeal. It really helps with the curb appeal when you aerate your lawn, because it makes your grass healthier, and just it's a great thing. You can also hire a professional to do the lawn aeration for you. So if you do have a larger lawn and you want it done, most landscaping companies will do it for you as well.
Offer that service.
Yep. So if you don't want to do it yourself, that's okay. And if you need a great landscaping company, I know one. One of my clients.
We know people in lots of trades. Always it is handy because we're using it all the time. We're often recommending tradespeople, and we've seen their work firsthand, so we know.
Right. I have a client that actually owns a landscaping business that does an amazing job for his clients, and his business, he only started it a couple of years ago, and a couple of years ago he did it part-time. It was like maybe 3 years ago, I think, he started. He was only doing it part-time, and now he was able to quit his job and go full-time, and in the wintertime he picks up extra things, but he also does snow removal, or he's going to be doing snow removal this year.
As do a lot of people that do the gardens,
He did snow removal last year, but this year he's talking about doing it big time, getting the truck with a plow. Last time he's always been doing it by hand with a snowblower, but this year he's talking about investing in that. So if you need a great landscaping company to come out and to do some aeration, and he just does an amazing job. He actually did one of my other clients' homes, and the lawn just was immaculate the whole time. It was, So if we needed someone, we'd be calling Alfredo for sure. So so tip of the week, aerate those lawns now that we're coming into the fall. Let that great nutrient kind of release over the winter time and shift around and do what it needs to do, and That way you have a beautiful lawn by springtime.
Yeah, and then you can send us some pictures.
Yeah, we'd love to see that. We would love to see if you have a house that you think should be featured on here because you're going to be listing it, whether you list it with us or someone else. If you think it should be on our House of the Week, let us know.
Yeah.
If you hear about a great local event, oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. We're going to go local. Some of our stuff is more national. This is local. This Saturday in Racine
Is
Party on the Pavement.
Party on the Pavement.
If you've never been to Party on the Pavement, you really need to come. It's an amazing event downtown Racine.
I'll be down there. I'll
Russell?
be at the Shore West stand
Yep.
on Party on the Pavement.
Do you know what time you're there?
I think I'm there 1 till 2, but I'll have to check on
We'll
that.
have to check.
I know it's around midday, I believe around 1
And
o'clock.
I may be there as well. It's going to depend on my schedule a little bit because it just depends on what
And
happens.
we'll be at Monument Square.
Yeah, we're right on Monument Square.
Yeah,
Now you can't
so
park
look
down there
out for
because
us.
all the streets are blocked off. They've got
Mhm.
great bands, great music, great drink, great.
Yeah.
Usually there's bouncy
There's
castles.
lots of vendors that go along.
Yep, we have a raffle going at our booth.
All
So
the studios are open,
Yep.
the art studios, so you can go into there. There's plenty of vendors there for food, drink, and music galore.
and that's
so
next Saturday
it's
from
really
noon
good.
till 7, downtown Racine. Party on the Pavement. So
See you there.
yeah. Well, thanks guys for tuning in tonight. If you do have any questions or comments, I don't see any in YouTube tonight. So I don't see anybody having made a comment. We have had some people watching the whole time though. Thank you so much, folks, for watching. We do appreciate it. You have no idea how much that actually helps our page grow. It does eventually help the page grow to have watches and to have views. And the
Yes.
longer time people view, the more it helps our page to grow. And we really do want to help people. So we really want this page to grow to a level so that lots of people can be helped.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you do have any questions or anything, feel free to send us an email. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. We do have a group on Facebook called Real Estate for Real People, where we rebroadcast this live broadcast. We rebroadcast it every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. And so if you're not, if you just tuned in at the end and you don't have time to sit and watch it, that's okay. You can either rewatch it here on YouTube or you can join us over in our Facebook community to find out that. And you can find all the links on our page here. So our channel has all the links to all the ways to contact us. Feel free to reach out and we look forward to helping you in the future. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.